Paddington in Peru's Rotten Tomatoes record is a reminder of how incredible the franchise really is. Paddington in Peru is the third chapter in the trilogy, and its Rotten Tomatoes rating is a reminder of how superb the franchise truly is. The Paddington movie franchise began in 2014 and has since been one of the most charming and consistent franchises. Ben Whishaw voices the young bear and continues to bring the wholesome character to life on the big screen. Despite venturing out of London and into Peru, the third film continues to spark wonder and deliver on its undeniable British charm. Even the numerous cast changes for Paddington in Peru did not affect the film's reception that much. Needless to say, Paddington 2 might be the greatest movie of all time, and initially received a higher score on Rotten Tomatoes than Citizen Kane. The film later went on to lose its top-rated spot, but the scores alone are a testament to the consistency of the franchise. The Paddington franchise is so interesting because of how different all three films are, yet they all have a distinct charm that guarantees audiences will adore them. Paddington in Peru has the franchise's lowest score on Rotten Tomatoes, but the outcome is not necessarily such a bad thing. Paddington in Peru has the franchise's lowest Rotten Tomatoes score. Even though it's at 93%, Paddington in Peru is currently sitting at 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, while the audience score has yet to become available. Although this is the franchise's lowest critical rating yet, it is by no means a disaster for the top marmalade enthusiast. In fact, 93% is still an incredibly impressive score, especially considering the movie's US release comes after a triumphant 4-month run in UK cinemas. This still gives Paddington in Peru plenty of time to grow accustomed to global audiences and accumulate a higher score. However, the franchise's strong reputation speaks for itself, making any increase in score somewhat unnecessary. Paddington debuted with a rating that surpassed its competitors in 2014, including Big Hero 6 and How to Train Your Dragon 2. Of course, Paddington 2 boasts an unrivaled rating too. The film had an impact not only on its audiences, but on the wider industry itself. It would be very difficult for any film to replicate the adoration Paddington 2 was adorned with, leaving Paddington in Peru at a major disadvantage in its early stages. There were extremely high expectations following the second film, making Paddington in Peru's rating an indication of the successful dynamics this franchise has mastered. Why the Paddington movies are so beloved by critics. Part of the reason why the Paddington movies work so well is because they are inundated with charm. These movies are not solely designed for children, but are created to be enjoyed by people of all ages. Each film perfectly encapsulates compassion and human decency, as well as the wonder of London's capital city. The Brown family is an important reminder of kindness and acceptance in a world that can often be so cruel and transports viewers to another world for those precious few hours. Each character works too, including the villains. The first movie saw Nicole Kidman working against the young bear, while Hugh Grant, quite literally, stole the stage in Paddington 2, and the latest film secures an equally exciting antagonist during the family's trip to Peru. Paddington in Peru is noteworthy because it has a far more complex plot, which explores Paddington's backstory in more depth and certainly ensures plenty of twists along the way while still being fun. The Paddington movies have delivered consistently entertaining moments, but they have also had something to say.